Nothing gets a bait rockin' and rollin' like powering it with 200 horsepower. Trolling gets your baits down into the fish zone, keeps them there, and covers lots of water in the process. And it triggers strikes at depths and speeds unobtainable with casting tactics. If you want to leave no stone unturned, power down deep diving crankbaits to extract big pike from their summer haunts.
Look at that. Today, Jeff Gustafson and I are fishing in Ontario's Sunset Country. We've been fishing for about 2 minutes. This is the start of the morning. Today we're going to look at some strategies for catching monster pike late in the summer, trolling.
Yeah, we're going to enjoy a good day on the water, I think.
All right, let's let her go. Get some more.
Here we go, back to the depths.
The time frame we're in right now is late summer. It's just past the peak of the water temperatures, as warm as the water is going to get. And we're targeting pike right now in really deep water. Deep water meaning 20 to 40 feet, these humps out in the middle of the lake. Pike by nature are a cold water fish, so this is the places they want to be in late summer. Deep structure is absolutely the place to find these big pike. Get out of the bays and come out here. This is where they're at right now.
We're using these Shimano Dakota reels, line counter reels, and what we found is we let these things out 130 feet or so, and this particular hump we're fishing tops out at about 28 or 30 feet. And this bait we're using is an X30, so it's diving to about 30 feet. And at 130 feet of line out, 30-pound suffix braid, we're touching the rocks with it. And that's what you want. You just want to tick them a bit. We don't want to bang them too hard, but 130 feet seems to be the ticket for the amount of line to let out. Up in front of me are a couple of the waypoints we've been fishing. They're humps, offshore humps. So on this Humminbird unit, I can actually save 3 screens on the right side. So I've got my GPS with my sonar right there. Second is just my sonar. That's good for running around on high speed, and you can really see the rocks coming good because it'll change color. You'll get red for rock. Third one is my side imaging and my sonar. And I'm going to use that in combination to find the edges of these rocks and humps, and that's where I'm going to put my waypoints so I can set up my trolling paths to hit those transition spots. And when we pull up to this rock here coming up, I'm going to show you what happens on the side imaging unit. When it gets to be rock and hard bottom, it'll get really white, and that's what you can see right there. It goes from a real matte, nothing on the bottom to a lot of white and broken up stuff. That's all the rock. It's just there's not a lot of boulders here. When we get on spots where there's boulders, you can really see them. Like there's a boulder right there, but there's a real sharp break on this thing. This side imaging is absolutely deadly. Now, we're just about over the side of this thing, and I'm going to show you what happens when we come off, and then you'll see how it goes from hard bottom to soft bottom. So there's some more, another chunk of rock. Now watch, we're going down on the sonar right here, and look at this. It just turns to nothing. This is just all soft bottom, sand or clay or whatever it is. The rock stopped right there, and that's it. So I can actually, I stopped the screen, my cursor, I can actually go and put a waypoint right on that transition line, hit mark, waypoint created, go to my big screen, there's 269 where I came off the edge of that hump, and that's it. Awesome, awesome tool. These Mag 30s really are an amazing bait because you control them at a really, really wide range of speeds, and that's something we play with every time we're out here. Some days they want it a little slower, some days a little faster. Now the slow end of what we're doing is probably 3.1, 3.5, up to, we're trolling some spots at 5.5 miles an hour, really quite fast, and not a lot of baits you can pull that off with. There we go, there's a good hit.
You got one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's
fish.
a big one.
Yeah.
The fish was in 40 feet too, and his bait was probably down about 26 feet. It just goes to show the strike range. I mean, it might have been a level at the fish, but we're in clear water too, and these fish can see a long ways, and they will move to hit a bait.
Way more than you can imagine, yeah.
Nice one, Jeff. Hold on, let me get the net. That's a big fish.
Yeah, it is. He's hooked pretty nice, actually.
Yeah. Oop. There we go.
Wow.
Nice fish.
That's just your standard offshore rock pile pike. You know, you're not getting those little crackers. They're mostly all nice, big, mature fish. And
You just can't beat that action. Tell you what, you want to go get yourself a bunch of big fish, lots of action late in the summer, come out to these offshore humps, put on an X-Wrap, you're going to have awesome action, guaranteed, I promise you.